Here's the Raw Vegan for Beginners video. Everything you pretty much need. If I haven't answered your question, obviously ask in the community. Just ask where you feel is necessary, and I'll either answer in video format, add to this. The questions never end, but there really are some fundamentals, and hopefully I've answered your question in this video. So, this could be your totally brand new, you're even coming from a standard diet or just a refresh, a refresh of just knowing these fundamentals that, if you've slipped a bit, you just feel like you need a bit of a reset or need to get, back on track, then this video is definitely for you. I have broken it down into 10 question and answers. So we're going to start with number 1, which is why? Why are you coming to a raw vegan diet? Now, you may have just been inspired. Do you know, for some, I would say quite a low percentage of people come to this lifestyle inspired. I definitely was one of those. I did have a few issues that I wanted to clear up, such as my emotional attachments. I say they were small, but they wasn't. There was massive addictions, huge attachments to cooked food, junk food, just anything to suppress and numb and escape. I didn't want to do that anymore. Raw foods are going to clean you out. They're going to clean your gut. Just the more I was eating raw, the more I had less addictions. So that really brought me to it. And obviously the weight loss. I want to eat in abundance, but I didn't want the yo-yo effect of what a standard diet, even a vegan diet gave. It still came with consequences, attachments to these foods, because they have so many chemicals in them. Great thing about raw food lifestyle diet is it really does cleans your bowels. So like people like Ted Carr, others that have come from, had acne and they've cleared it on mostly fruit and the raw foods. You can see there's something here. And I feel that most people, they know, when you talk to doctors, they say eat healthy fruits and vegetables. We can't argue a healthy diet is fruits and vegetables. Eat more of them because they've got all the vitamins and the minerals, the phytonutrients. So find your why. Why are you coming here? Is it out of desperation, which is the high percentage of people they come in here because they're really sick, they've got some chronic health issues. It's not about what we're eating, it's what we're eliminating. So what's raw foods, just because they're high in water content, helps us eliminate and push out all this toxic waste. So you may want to feel like less gassy, less bloated, you want to smell nice. I've noticed I don't have any smell, any odor. You may want just these little things, but also these big changes, like the weight loss, premature aging, chronic health issues. I've seen is I feel much more alert, more focused, more vibrant. I have much more mental clarity. My recovery rate when I'm training is way better. Much more stronger, in fact, totally the opposite to what most people think. So it encourages me, it motivates me to keep on with this lifestyle. And then when I eat some cooked foods, I don't feel so good. And that might not happen at first. Find your why. Why are you coming into this lifestyle? And have it written down. I want you to do that right now. Pause this video, write down, take 5 to 10 minutes on why you are coming onto this lifestyle. Your why is what's going to really push you through those challenging times. Why power. Simon Sinek, the Why Power book, I think it's called. It's powerful. It's powerful to know your why, which just keeps you focused. And read that every single day. Why are you on this diet and lifestyle? Number 2, hydration is a must, especially if you're eating a lot of cooked foods. Cooked food is very dehydrating to the body, and this is why we see premature aging. We shouldn't be aging at the rate we are aging. This hydration by eating juicy fruits, watermelon, oranges, pineapple, grapefruit. These are going to hydrate the body, hydrate the cells, they're intercellular. You're going to flush your whole body with these amazing juicy fruits. Especially in the beginning, drink a lot more juices, smoothies, watery fruits, and having lemon water, lime water, infused water. And the great thing is you'll end up eating less of the junk and just eating less in general because you're hydrated. For most people, they're just dehydrated. They're not actually hungry. We always feel like when we get these uncomfortable feelings in the stomach, we think it's hunger, and it's not. It's actually because we're not hydrating our body. Maybe you want to start out with your first meal as a watermelon, a smoothie, a really juicy smoothie with all that water that's come from the fruits. Start your day like that. If you can't make every meal raw, start with the first meal as the juiciest juice, smoothie, watermelon. Number 3 is transition. And I touched on this, even if it just means your one meal is something hydrating. Start to incorporate more whole, undenatured foods into your day. So start your first meal as raw. This is a process. We have to be patient. We have to be gentle on ourselves. It's not all or nothing. You don't have to go full on out. Just start to incorporate more raw foods so that your second meal could be most of it's a salad and then some steamy vegetables, potatoes, rice. If you are eating the cooked foods, make sure to hydrate. Always start your day with the hydration first and then the heavier foods later in the day. That is what I would recommend in your transition. So if you are already eating a standard diet, start to come away from all of the meat, the dairy, the eggs. Have some starches. Maybe do raw until dinner. So you have raw all day, fruit smoothies, smoothie bowls, fruits, juices, and then your meal at night or dinner time would be a big salad and some starches. So potatoes, rice, pasta, and your favorite sauce. You might even want to create a raw vegan sauce on there. Enjoy the raw sauces and dips that I've shared, and I'll put in the resources as well so you can have that. And then eventually you'll replace that meal with just the salad. And you'll have avocado. You may have kelp noodles. There's lots of recipes that you can find that can start to replace those starches. And this is how transition looks. And it looks different for everybody at different times. And it's cliche, but enjoy this whole process, this new discovery of way of living, and have this enjoyment of vibrancy. Number 4, stock up with plenty of fruits, predominantly fruits and vegetables. Have them at all different stages of ripeness so that they can last. Because sometimes if you've got all this ripe fruit, but it's gone within the day or two, then you're like forever always going back and forth. If you don't mind doing that, that's great, having as fresh as possible. But you can have all different stages of ripeness, and they can last longer if they're in the fridge. Ideally, you want them at room temperature, but we all live differently and in different parts of the world. Do what works for you, but stock up all of the cupboards, all of your fridge with all of this incredible fruits and vegetables so that you're not tempted to go for the unhealthy foods. Keep everything accessible. Even take them with you. Have pots, have jars of fruits. Take them with you everywhere you go. Nuts and seeds in your purse. Number 5, have a support group. There's plenty online. There's the Raw Living, and there's now this group. You are so lucky that we have this add-on to this app, this community. So reach out to others, reach out to myself for that support, because this is what's going to help you push through and will remind you of your why you are here. And when you're around like-minded souls, it makes it so much more easier. We're energetic beings. We feed off other energy. And if that energy is positive and vibrant and sharing this lifestyle, it just feels like second nature. I actually do forget. I go to the south sometimes, in the south of the island in Phuket, and I forget when we're eating out that people don't eat the way I eat. It's interesting because I'm in my little bubble, and it's not until I actually go and spend some time outside, but I always invite everybody to the raw food cafes and things, so it's generally never a big deal. But I forget how not available it is. I eat from home most of the time. And I always say this, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Be very mindful how much time you spend with others that aren't on this lifestyle, that aren't where you want to be, because you do become your environment. So it's very key in this process. So it doesn't mean that you have to take them out completely, but maybe just in the transition, just start to distance yourself a little bit, or just spend more time with like-minded souls, if that means it's online, or reach out to groups in your area. I'm sure there are others feeling the same, that want that support, that want that connection. But your accountability is in here, is in these groups. And educate yourself within these groups as well. There's going to be so much information to feed that soul, to feed those cells, and it's going to be so fun. Number 6 is go to local farmers, supporting them. Oh my goodness, they're going to be so grateful. And the great thing is, if you're concerned about the cost, they are going to enjoy, because you come in regularly and you're going to be sharing it as well, word of mouth. They're going to give you great discounts. I was so blessed in the UK. I had my friend's dad that was in a wholesale, and he would give me amazing prices. I used to get like 100 bananas for £5. Oh my God, that was so incredible. So, start building relationships with these local farmers, support them, and start sharing with others so that they bring in more people and that they acknowledge you. They know that you're trying to help them, and they want to help you as well. And they want to help you eat well and thrive. You're going to get some great deals, I'm 100% sure. Even at the supermarket, if you go at the end of the day, some supermarkets, they have these unripe fruits. Or you can even ask them if they're not out, just speak to them and say, look, can I have your produce that you're planning on throwing away? Because likely they think it's too ripe when it's perfect for you, especially these spotted bananas. You can freeze them because they're going to be so sweet. You might not want to eat them because they're a little bit mushy, but you can freeze them and make banana ice cream. And how we do that banana ice cream, if you've got a strong blender, freeze them and then take them out. You can thaw them a little bit if your blender's not that great, but then throw them in, and nothing else is needed. You can put a couple of dates in there and just blend it up, whip it up, and it's banana ice cream. So delicious. Number 7 is prep. You do need to prep, especially in the early days, and having, like I say, you've got all this fruit and veg, you've got this accessibility, but we do need to prep our meals. And I would highly recommend start getting some glass jars, start putting grapes. I like presentation, so I never used to, but it does make this lifestyle much more fun and vibrant. So put them in different jars, your berries, your cherries, grapes. And I've put a shelf in my kitchen now with all my nuts and seeds. I have those out on display. So it's nice when you're doing your smoothie bowls and you just put the toppings on top. You can pick and choose. I love all that. I love my fridge, nicely designed, all organized. Keep them in glass jars. It's just much better than plastic. But, we've got to do what we've got to do. Also, BPA free. Try and look for plastic that is BPA free. We don't want those chemicals leaching out in the plastic, and it's quite toxic for us. But what I like to do, and I used to have them on my fridge, is like 5 recipes for each sort of like smoothie. So I'd have 5 recipes for smoothies, 5 recipes for smoothie bowls, 5 recipes for salads, dips and sauces, high fat, low fat. All of that is also in the resources. So check that out. So you've got them. Have them written out. Do 1 a week, 1 a day, and put them on your fridge, and then they're go-to. So you're like, okay, I'm going to have them, and then batch them. You can freeze them, freeze your dips, freeze your sauces, even freeze the smoothie bowls. You could do a big batch, big tub, and pop it in the freezer, and you've got a few days. Same with the juices. I like to batch, especially my lemon ginger blast. I love having that regularly. That is so incredible to start your day as your first meal. It just works so synergistically together. I mean, they're so stringent. The pulse, if you're constipated, the lemon ginger blast is definitely for you. So the lemon ginger blast or a green juice, you can batch it, do a big, full on couple of litres and pop them in the freezer. Take them out for the next day and use them for 2 or 3 days. I think 3 days is your max, depending how you like it, maybe 2 days. Experiment. And that's what this journey is about, just experiment and exploring and seeing what your preferences are. And try and go organic where you can. Organic is best, but if you really are struggling to find organic, or even with the cost, I mean, when we look at it long term, actually outweighs, the health, and you actually end up upfront cost first, but in the long term, it's going to save us. But I get it, even for myself, there are times there's some things I'm just like, that is pricey. But go and get the 12 Dirty Dozen. So look at those and go for those, the 12 Dirty Dozen. But if you go into the locals, ask them, what's being sprayed on them. If I can go organic greens, that's my priority. Organic greens is most my celery, my greens. Number 8, eat an abundance of fruits and vegetables, especially at first. Now, some say yes, they've gained weight. It's very, very rare, especially if they're not working on the mindset. And the great thing here is we work on the mindset. We work on those self-limiting beliefs. We work on the sabotaging patterns, using food as attachments to suppress, to escape. So we work on those. So it's generally not going to happen, but I don't want you to be worried about eating too much. Like I did in the first year, was up and down in my raw vegan journey, because I was just smashing in the calories, the bananas, the dates. So if you have got a cost issue as well, like bananas, dates, they're filling the higher calories and they're cheaper generally. So go for those. So have an abundance of these, especially the frozen bananas, especially bananas. Have them all the time in your pantry, in your kitchen. Don't restrict on this lifestyle. This is not about restriction. We're going to reset the metabolism. If you've come from, under eating, this is about resetting. This is not about restriction. We don't need to. That's the great thing and why I love this lifestyle. We can eat in abundance, feel satisfied, feel satiated without the worry and the concern of I've ate too much. No, you may initially feel a bit bloated. We have to push through that. We're going to be changing the microbiome, just changing the gut. We're going to change the gut to actually crave and want these fibrous, these healthy foods. Just be patient with it and trust the process, that the more you eat of these, the easier it's going to get. Yeah, initially want to look at the food combining. You may not want to mix fats and carbs together, maybe just the fats with the vegetables, but usually carbs on their own. But everybody's different. I didn't care. I just wanted to be raw and I was just eating whatever. And I did have some bloating here and there, but push through it. And now I can eat anything that's raw and not really have an issue. Number 9, if you are in a cold climate, I get it. And sometimes it's not easy. It's a common question I get a lot when it is cold. I was in England and I did raw until dinner. I really looked forward to my hot meals in the evening. However, I was having more raw days just to explore, because I was feeling really good on the more raw days. I thought, I need to make this work. So these are some great tips that can help you through these times where you feel like you're craving hot food, you just want to be warm. Herbal teas, not coffee, not anything caffeinated, because these really wreck the adrenals. They really overstimulating for the body. So I personally would not have any coffee and caffeine in your diet. This is what's going to keep you addicted and hooked and struggling. So go for the herbal teas. These are going to help you when it is cold and you just want that nice soothing, warm tea. So I'm for these, especially in the transition. I don't ever have them anymore. I never really crave the herbal teas. I can't remember the last I had a herbal tea, but enjoy them. Also, have more clothes on. These little simple things we can do. Sometimes we've got the heating on and we've got hardly any clothes on. More clothes on. I used to be really conscious of, but it was more, I didn't want to waste money. I didn't want to waste electricity for the environment. And I just put on my dressing gown. I used to work from home, so it'd be thick dressing gown. Being more conscious. So put more clothes on. Because I didn't like the heating as well. It just dried your skin out. I just didn't enjoy it. So, when you do get really cold, take hot baths, move your body more, do some jumping jacks, just get that body warm and stimulated. Trust me, when you feel so incredible on this diet, on this lifestyle, you won't want to go back to eating the cooked food. So it's just temporary that you're going to feel these uncomfortable feelings at first, and it'll outweigh the wanting to create when you're craving the cooked foods. Number 10, that brings me to the movement. Really start to move the body more, because if you was like me, I had poor circulation. I wasn't really moving too much. I was very sedentary, and even still I'm fairly sedentary, but I do exercise daily. I move my body. So get out in nature as well, like just being in nature. I don't like to be on the cardiovascular machines, any of the treadmills, things like that at the gym. It's a no-go. I like to be outside. I hike. I like to walk. I don't do out strenuous, but I walk a lot. I walk 5 kilometers minimum every single day with the dogs. And then I go to the gym and I do resistance training. We all need to do resistance training. That's why I've got these programs. Use the programs, even if it's something very simple, 3 times a week, just something that puts resistance on your body. And you don't have to complicate this, but this is what's going to stimulate the cells, stimulate the bowels. Because when we're going through, you might be backed up at first. Some people are, some people aren't, but some people are. And you've really got to help that movement. Use the trampoline, the rebounder. Use that regularly, 10 minutes every day, a couple of times a week. Really start to move, get out, and say that's going to help if you're cold as well, but it's going to help the blood flow. It's going to help remove those toxins out of the body. Because you know what? We really don't want to be backed up. We don't want to be constipated. And most people are constipated, and that's where disease comes from. We're all backed up. We want to be pooing every time we eat, 2, 3, 4 times a day. And sometimes, if you feel like you're eating all of these fibrous foods, the juices, if you're really struggling to poop, moving the body, rebounder. But foods such as dragon fruit, kiwis, coconut water, soaked dates, and definitely the green juice, the lemon ginger blast will just flush you out. But sometimes people are holding on emotionally. There might be something that you just need to let go of. You might not express yourself. I find that when somebody has hurt me, upset me, and I hold on to it and not, especially someone who's important, I don't let them know how I feel. I start to get blocked. And as soon as I express and speak my truth, I release. So it makes total sense. Everything is linked. Everything, mind, body connection. And this is what raw foods does. It brings you back to that body and mind connection. And just to end with, if you are concerned about calories, it's really to make sure you're eating enough. But if you are concerned, you can use Chronometer, MyFitnessPal. Most people prefer MyFitnessPal. And you can put your macros in and just get a gauge of your calories. But it's something I'm really in tune with my body, but I know at first we've lost that, especially in this society. It's so stressful. We've got such crap food readily available so easily. We've lost our natural ability to know when to eat, when not to eat. So just in the initial phases, perhaps that might be very helpful for you, but you don't have to. But if you start to lose too much weight, then I would encourage tracking your calories. You might even ask, what about protein? You have no concerns about protein. It's the amino acids we need. You get plenty in fruits, nuts, seeds, and vegetables. If people say to you, this is an extreme diet, well, we ain't average. We want extreme health. We want extreme vitality. I want to be extremely happy and fit. That's what's important to me. I don't want to play balanced average. And if you are really worried about, putting on weight and you want to lose weight, just don't have so many nuts and seeds. But if you're moving your body, you're doing what I'm sharing in this program, then you can eat the nuts and seeds, enjoy the nut butters. But if you really want to gain some weight, then increase the nut butters, nuts and seeds. But choose, if you're wanting to lose the weight, choose the watery fruits, have more of those. In your dinner time, maybe that's where you have more of your nuts and seeds, your sauces. But during the day, eat an abundance of fruits. Hopefully that's answered all of your questions. If you do have more and you want me to expand on any more, then obviously ask in the community, and also this will be more expansive. Definitely if we get more questions. But I want to just remind you is that keep it so simple. I do not want to overcomplicate this. This is not complex. This is only what we create more. We want things to be harder. I don't know why. It's our egos. We always feel like this shouldn't be as easy, but it is. It's less of getting rid of the old programs. Less is more. Less food on the plate, less variety. Like I shared, it's abundance of foods, but you're not going to have all these stimulating foods. Less in general is so much more. So don't overcomplicate this. Please keep it simple. Enjoy the process. You've got this. I wish you all the best on your journey. I'm here for you. You are not alone. I'm really excited. You're going to get so much from this, a new identity, a new body, a life and body that you absolutely love. And I'm excited for you. Peace. Lots of love.